Hey. Hey everybody, how's it going?
Hi.
We got Pippi Pop, we got Emma, hello Kevin.
And maybe
What's up,
Jordan
Keith?
if they came back after 4 hours.
Seth, how you doing?
Emma.
It's good to see everybody.
Yeah.
I hope you're all doing good.
What's cool, everybody?
I got some stuff in the mail. I got the third in the DC Horror Presents series. They go together. I can't fit them.
Oh, you gotta zoom out. Or, yeah, drive them.
Drive them across. But I am so happy with how this has turned out. And I am really loving the DC Horror Presents logo. Like, the way it looks like it glows on these, like, just works really, really well.
Yeah, I was thinking about that today, too, that it doesn't really cover up your art.
Yeah. And it's already a smaller logo than I would have expected. Usually I leave the whole top third for logo treatment. And they're using maybe a fifth, maybe a sixth. Hey, comic strips. Scary. Very pleased with this. And some beautiful artwork inside too. We got Francesco Francavilla and Patrick Horvath. I think that's how you say his name. This is the guy who did the Beneath the Trees, isn't it? Someone will know for sure. Which I have read one issue of randomly and really liked it, but I haven't gone back to get the rest of the series.
I can't do a search because Tibbs is laying on one of my arms and the other arm is holding up my laptop.
Beneath the Trees is great. Yeah, I really need to pick that up. I think it's in trade now, or at least partially in trade, which is good. I also found this in setting up the new studio, and I thought this was a very insightful notebook that I thought I would share. This is a real early notebook for the Lonesome Hunters back when it was called The Old Man and the idea was that like each series would be like the Old Man and the Magpie, the second series would be like the Old Man and the Wolf. So if we take a look here, we have here the Old Man and the Wolf, Old Man and the Sword, Howard Abraham and Lupe. And then on page 2 it says, I gotta find my previous notes, Howard walking down the street, and then an entirely blank notebook after that. I couldn't even tell you when I started this, but I basically finished it the same day. So there you go. There's an insight into my working methods.
But you gotta keep that.
Yeah,
you can't ever get rid of it.
Well, it's like,
and you can't add to it either.
It's basically a blank notebook. I feel like I have such a hard time getting rid of blank notebooks.
Yeah.
So I watched a YouTube video today with a sketchbook tour by what's this guy's name? Robert McKenzie. And he had a lot of stuff that was ballpoint pen and acrylic, and I was like, I'm gonna try some of that in my sketchbook and see what comes of it. Yeah, Keith, I have more sketchbooks like that than I care to admit.
You picked a good ballpoint.
Yeah, well, I wanted to do it in red, but I don't know what I'm gonna draw. I got my dice, but they're inside their thing. I'll get them out later.
Okay. got him some random prompt dice for art.
I'm going to draw my bumblebee guy.
Oh, that's awesome.
That I haven't drawn for a long, long time.
He's been drawing Bumblebee Headman for... When do you think you first drew a Bumblebee Headman?
Man, probably 20 years ago. It was when we lived in Golden Hills.
Oh, you think so? Okay.
In the big house at the top of the hill.
Then I think it was further than that because we were in our 20s when we lived there.
Oh, I'm already doing a terrible job of drawing him though.
It's been years since you've drawn him. Like a few years.
It's always fun to go back to your old sketchbooks and seeing how much you have progressed, as well as the fond memories you made in your art journey. Kind of. That's a good point, Kevin. Sometimes I have a hard time looking at my old sketchbooks. They feel just like too cringy.
Hippie just watched half of the new Hellboy movie.
Oh, yeah, man, we still haven't watched that.
Nope.
We watched Lower Decks last night, the final episode. Such a good show.
So good.
I was telling somebody on BlueSky just how like the Lower Decks worked to like made me enjoy other Star Trek shows. Like I hadn't really noticed, but now after watching Lower Decks, every time someone says sensors, it cracks me up.
I cracked up a lot with this last episode, and got some very satisfying fan service.
Yeah.
Isn't he wearing a cowl? It's been a long time since I've seen Bumblebee Headman.
I always thought that it was like his skin, but that he was like goofy, where he's got that like solid black skin, but the flesh like Caucasian colored muzzle.
Okay.
Whatever that's about.
Emma likes that the Lower Decks last episode was one of the more typical Star Trek episodes.
Yeah.
Very action-y.
Yeah, they had like a clear space anomaly to solve.
Yep.
But they did a good job of it tying in a lot of the stuff from the whole season.
That also was very satisfying. Comic Tropes has only seen the first season.
But loved seeing the cast in the live action. Yeah, when they were on Strange New Worlds.
Discovery.
No, it was Strange New Worlds.
It was?
Mm-hmm.
I think you're right.
It'd be great if they brought them back on Strange New Worlds.
Yeah, I would love that.
When's Strange New Worlds going to start up again? They're doing more of that, right?
Yeah, it is coming back.
But they're doing Section 31.
Yeah, that too. That's a movie, though, isn't it?
I don't know. Comic Tropes says soon.
Yeah. I usually like looking this stuff up, but Tibbs is zonked. She's asleep on my right arm. I have no typing fingers available. Strange New Worlds is fun too. I enjoy it.
Yeah, they get the thing of doing like one and done episodes, which is really nice.
Emma says that Strange New World is coming in April.
Oh, nice. Yeah, that's not very far off at all. I don't know what I'm drawing. I'm just sort of doodling. This is I saw that YouTube video with the Mackenzie dude doing showing his sketchbooks, and it just reminded me a lot of my older sketchbooks where I used to do a lot more acrylic painting in them.
Mm-hmm.
And I was like, I wonder if I could get back to that. There's something really fun and satisfying about those. But the thing is that they're like, takes a lot of time. And it's like sometimes spending time in your sketchbook, like doing finished pieces in your sketchbook, sometimes it feels a little bit, when you have deadlines, it feels a little bit, I don't know.
Anxiety inducing.
Yeah, it's just like I have stuff I have to get done.
So, Pippi, next Friday, once you finish watching Hellboy, I'd love to hear your thoughts on it. Pippi says they're gonna wait, and Keith asked, "So how about that Superman teaser? I heard you watch it today."
I did watch it. Yeah, it looked fun.
I thought Crypto looked good. Very sweet. And even though he's obviously 3D, he wasn't like a disturbingly 3D like Sonic the Hedgehog did for me.
I'm generally not like a giant fan of superhero movies.
Yeah.
So it's like hard to get super riled up.
Riled up about the Superman.
Yeah, but it does look like.
Oh, the camera keeps going out of focus. I think it's focusing on your hat, maybe.
Oh, maybe. But it does look like they've made some really bad Superman movies in the last decade or so. So this does look more like they sort of like the people who made it like Superman. When a lot of the previous movies, you get the feeling that they didn't actually like Superman and wanted to do something different.
Do something different, yeah. Yeah, it does have a little bit more Oh, Keith says it's not the hat, it's still getting blurry.
I wonder if I can turn off the autofocus.
There was a quality about it that I'm not able to put my finger on to find a word for, but it did seem fun. Even though a lot of it spends time with Superman's in serious trouble.
Yeah, I don't know. One of the things that what's that guy's name? Who was the '80s Superman?
Christopher Reeves.
Christopher Reeves. Yeah. Somebody said that they always thought that the thing about Christopher Reeves' Superman was that he acted as if he liked being Superman.
And liked people.
And liked people, yeah. But like when but there was a thing where it's like when he got to be Superman, he always was like, he knew what he was like. He acted as if he knew what he was doing was cool.
Yeah.
And it made it like, I don't know, it just felt more innocent, more like saving the world was kind of fun, or at least like saving buses of screaming people was kind of fun for him.
But still a responsibility.
Oh, I'm also trying this masking tape that Ma got me called Nishiban, high quality masking tape. I think it's just washi tape, but it's like just almost a pure white. I wanted to see how it does. It might be a good masking tape to use going forward.
It was in the washi tape section. That would make sense. I'm not a superhero fan either, except that I did like the Logan movie.
Oh yeah, the one
so I think it's
where
just
it was like him
how
and
his clone.
Was that his daughter?
Clone.
His clone. Digging through my stash of acrylic paint. I don't even know what all I got here.
Oh, and besides Logan, also loved The Tick.
Hey, the Tick is very good.
I've enjoyed all of the animated, the live action ones. But my favorite, I think, is the first live action one.
Yeah. I don't know if I have watched more than a couple clips of the animated show.
Yeah, I watched it ages ago. I don't know. I haven't tried watching it again. I wonder if it would still be enjoyable.
Yeah.
Those of you old enough to remember Greatest American Hero, I loved it as a kid. Loved it. Could not watch it. Could not get through it. I even skipped the pilot just in case, because sometimes the pilot's not good. Went to the first episode. Couldn't do it. I would not suggest. Hi, Dylan.
Hey, Dylan, it's good to see you. Nathan Fillion with a stupid haircut.
Oh, was that Gardner. Nathan Fillion? I didn't even recognize him. The haircut's good.
Yeah, the Guy Gardner haircut is ridiculous.
But I'm glad they kept it.
Yeah.
I'm very curious how well the red ink's going to show up.
Yeah, me too.
That kid is not pleased to see Bumblebee Headman. Oh my goodness.
I haven't really painted with acrylic paint in so long.
Does it feel that different from gouache?
It's a good question. It does kind of feel like gouache, but it does but it doesn't. It's like the texture, the way it dries with kind of a glossy
Plasticky
surface
feel.
feels different. Bumblebee Man Library Edition.
So what's cool with everybody? What's going on with y'all? Tyler's getting his office together. It's not put together yet, but he's making a lot of progress.
Yeah, it's getting really close. It's the vibe in here is very nice.
Emma's asking, what are you using to thin it? To thin the acrylic?
Water.
Seth found a new coloring technique that they really like.
Oh.
I have people's pronouns written down on a little notes thing, and I cannot. I try to reach it with one hand. Oh, I don't have Seth's pronoun written down anyway.
Burnt sienna watercolor pencil first, then micron over it. Oh, then blend out the pencil with a water brush. Oh. Yeah, I could see that being very effective, actually.
A watercolor pencil. Yeah.
I keep trying to make this work like watercolor, and it doesn't
Yeah, it doesn't
really
want to do
work that way.
Emma says that that she found that matte medium thins out the acrylic paint so much better than water does.
Yeah, there's a one of the problems I have with working with a lot of acrylic is I forget what they call it. If you thin, if you do a thick coat of watercolor, or I'm sorry, if you do a thick coat of acrylic and then do watered down coats over the top of it, sometimes they won't actually bind because there's not enough binder left after you've watered it down to actually adhere to the layers below it.
Is that true for using water and matte medium?
No, if you use matte, well, if you use a little bit of water, it doesn't matter. But if you're using matte medium, it usually helps to it gives it something to bind to.
Okay. Keith uses that too.
The matte medium.
Yeah.
One of the things, though, is working with paper is that the paper is absorbs enough that it can actually bind. As long as there's some of the paper texture showing through, it can sometimes bind to that without having to bind to the the paint itself,
Oh.
if that makes any sense at all.
Dylan loves that blue.
Yeah, it's a little Prussian blue. It'll gray out a little bit as it dries, but it's real pretty when it first goes down.
Alpha Llama Llama finished a comic page yesterday.
Oh, congratulations!
And he's happy with the results. He's gonna work on a print once the stream's finished, and have some dinner with friends. That sounds really cool. That sounds awesome. Pippi's friend, he saw his friend in the Superman trailer. That's really fun.
You posted something on BlueSky that led me to believe that you worked on the Superman movie in some context. Is that accurate?
It says he worked on 3 big particle effects in the movie, including the one with Soup and the girl.
Nice.
Is this the first time you're seeing your work on the big screen, Pippi? It seems like it would be really fun. Pippi says this is not his first time. He's done a crap load. Tibbs just told me I was fidgeting too much. I needed to be still because she's trying to sleep. Keith is asking, how does one measure a crap load?
With a crap measure. Comic tropes. Do you group my pages, or do I paint one at a time? Nowadays I do one at a time. I was when I did Harrow County, I would do 2 at a time, but that was because I was trying to do 2 pages a day. And nowadays it's like I sort of group them based on what I hope to accomplish each day. Because it's like, I think that's a reasonable approach to keep color consistency, but I don't know. I'm not that worried about color consistency, I guess. Because I typically know like what I was, like what colors I used the day before, so I can reproduce that without much hubbub.
when you do double page spreads, you do them at the same time.
Yeah, I do them as one page.
Yeah. You're welcome, Comic Tropes. Feel free to ask anything.
Almost anything.
Yeah.
Hey, I hope your family's doing good, Comic Tropes. I saw some stuff you posted on BlueSky. Said any of the vibes.
I hope you're taking good care of yourself too. Not very good. Yeah. I'm glad they have your support, though. So Pippi says that he thinks he's somehow jinxed with the movies that he's worked on, because all the supposed big blockbusters go bust. and he hates telling people that he worked on The Mummy, because they always say, "Oh, the first one was so good," and then he has to tell them, "Nope, not that one."
That's how I felt working on Game Day. Like, I remember I was sitting on an airplane one time, and the guy next to me was like, we were just making small talk, and he's like, "What do you do for a living?" And I told him I make video games, and he's like, "Oh, what video games?" And I was like, "Oh, I make Game Day." And he's like, "Oh, Game Day sucks. I play Madden." Like, right to my face, with like not even a hesitation.
Yep. Oh.
And it was true at the time. And from what I hear, Madden sucks nowadays too. But
so Comic Tropes shared more about what's going on if you'd like to hear about it.
My wife, she has anemia, and we can't figure out why. Just so you know a bit. Oh man, that's rough.
That's scary.
Yeah, it's real scary when they can't figure out what's going on.
I hope that they are able to figure it out soon, very soon.
Yeah.
And that there's a treatment, that they find a good treatment for it.
Okay, here's the thing about acrylic, is that I mix so much of my paint like on the page or whatever, like on the canvas or on the paper or whatever I'm working on. And acrylic doesn't want to do that. That's why I think I struggle with it sometimes, is because I want to use transparency, like the way I use ink, where I am doing thin glazes to mix colors like on the paper. But acrylic paint is like too full-bodied, I think, for me.
Too opaque?
Not always opaqueness, it's just that it's like thick.
Oh yeah.
And it doesn't want to like blend the same way like glazes do, like ink glazes or watercolor glazes.
Thank you, Comic Tropes.
Yeah, if you feel like it, hit that like button.
If you like it now or expect you will like it later, feel free. Go ahead. Go for it.
I did finally get a notice that I qualified for monetization.
Oh yeah, and then the week later it got taken away again.
No, it's still
Okay.
it's still qualify. I just
Okay.
I just have not been able to like sit down and think about that.
Is there anything that we need to do?
Yeah, you have to sign up for it.
Oh, okay. All right. Good to know. Keith says that matte medium really helps with that problem you were talking about.
Oh yeah?
Yeah, it makes it closer to painting with oils, and you can glaze the acrylic like you talked about too. You think you might have some?
Ta-da!
Nice.
Let's see what we get.
Comic Tropes is voting for us to go ahead and turn on the monetization so that they can give you super chats.
Oh yeah. It's one of those things where it's like I don't anticipate YouTube being like a major revenue stream for me.
Yeah.
But every little bit helps. The every time I sell a Harrow County album on Bandcamp, I am am over the moon about that. That's very fun.
Do you want to talk about that? Remind people or anyone that hasn't heard you talk about it before?
Yeah, if you didn't know, I wrote a soundtrack for Harrow County, like an instrumental soundtrack. You can stream it on most of the streaming services, but not not Spotify, but everywhere else. And you can buy copies on Bandcamp.
And is it just called Harrow County?
Yeah, if you just search Harrow County on Bandcamp, you'll find it. Or on the streaming stuff, you can find it that way too.
Does it say it's by you?
I think so.
He's asking, when's the next Bandcamp Friday so that you can get all the monies?
Not for a little while, I think. They just had one a couple days ago.
Was it created digitally or did you play instruments? Comic Tropes is asking.
Both. It is my DAW of choice is a program called Reason, and so there's a lot of like MIDI programming involved, but there's some guitar and
keyboard.
And yeah, I guess keyboard. That's like, I don't know, is that digital? If you're playing a digital keyboard?
Drums?
I think the drums were all programmed.
That's digital too. Comic Trip says he wants to listen to it when he sits down to edit next. That
Nice.
seems like it would actually be pretty nice editing music. Hi, Connor. Connor McNeil.
Hey, Connor.
Connor.
Oh, nice. Yeah, a lot of people I know have said that they put on the soundtrack when they read it,
and it works.
And it works for them. And I know Cullen has said that he, because I finished it before the second trade came out, and Cullen said that he listened to it a lot when he was writing the rest of the series.
So while that conversation was going on, Pippi and folks in the chat have been talking about Pippi's work, and it sounds very interesting. Practical effects, stabbing effects. Oh, and Comic Tropes was talking about your Harrow County soundtrack and said that he's heard a lot of Hollywood's most famous celebrities make love to it.
Yep, that's actually completely true. In fact, just the other day, I got an email from Robert De Niro where he was like, Tyler, I was making love the other day, and I just wanted you to know, Harrow County soundtrack really did the trick.
Ow, ow. Tibbs is stabbing my leg. Ow. Okay.
This map medium does actually do something.
It is helping?
Yeah, I can't quite tell like why it's helping me.
It does?
It's reminded me a little bit of when I was doing a lot of oil painting, and I would what was that stuff? Liquid
Oh.
was what I usually used as my my little medium that I would mix in.
Hi, Cooper. Happy holidays to you, too.
Hey, Cooper.
Alpha Llama Llama, I'm right there with you. I have to admit, I've never made love with a Hollywood celebrity.
What?
I once dated a Nicolas Cage lookalike, but nope. Seth, go for it. You have a question for me. Oh, I like those chin hairs you just did.
Yeah, the little like rim lighting.
Yeah.
Really makes a big difference all of a sudden.
Oh. You know what, Seth? My messaging on my website must not be working because I didn't get any of those messages. I will check that out after the stream and see.
On your website?
Yeah, on my website. Yep. You can try just doing my name without the apostrophe, my first and last name without the apostrophe at Gmail. Just send an email straight to me. Oh, Comic Trips asked, like that was his job, being a Nicolas Cage lookalike? No, his job was being a comedian. But a lot of people thought that he was Nicolas Cage. Even his mom, like, had Nicolas Cage stuff all up in her, all hung up all over her house, because She loved her kid so much and thought that he looked like Nicolas Cage too. Keith's face mask for COVID is the face of Nicolas Cage. That's horrifying. Just watching you lay down the paint, it looks a lot smoother now that you've added the
No, I'm using some of
matte
the
medium.
matte medium.
Yeah.
Yeah, it flows a little bit softer, like it doesn't want to clump as much.
Yeah. And there's times that the clumping is good, good texture. But it seems like you were having a hard time with it. Pippi's asking, what are your thoughts so far?
On the matte medium?
Yeah. And on the acrylic?
Kind of my normal acrylic thoughts.
Which are?
Which are that I don't know if, like, I always feel like that there's something here. There's something to acrylic that would be useful for me. I feel like I really need to spend a lot more hours with it, you know, to get where I can make it do what I want it to do. There's stuff that like just seems to work for me. Like when I started using colored ink, it just felt very natural. And I wasn't really struggling to make it work for me. Like I knew, like it was just doing what I wanted it to do on the first try. But acrylic, like, just never quite feels like it's doing what I want it to do. I think I naturally work, like I feel more comfortable in working transparently with stuff. When I was doing oil stuff, I was having a good time with that, but there's like it doesn't change color. Oils don't compared to acrylics. And acrylics are kind of like gouache, where like as they dry the color changes. And so somehow with oils it's easier to sort of, you can mix the color you want and you put it down and it stays that color. And when you work transparently, you're always sort of just like working in reaction to what's already on the page. But with opaque stuff that changes colors, it's hard for me.
Keith's got the little crying face. It says, today will go down in history as the day Keith and Emma gave Tyler art advice. That's the dream.
Thank you for that.
Yep. I had your back, Emma. It took both of y'all saying it before he even used it, though.
Keith going for that stolen valor, though.
What do you think the story is for this kid, honey?
I think that he is being haunted by Bumblebee Man.
Nice. That's terrifying and
Yeah.
irritating. I can see why he has that expression on his face that you just covered up with acrylic paint. I like his feet and his pants, his pegged pants.
I was thinking of him kind of as sweatpants.
Oh, sweatpants. Does Bumblebee Man talk or buzz?
He does talk. Traditionally, when I have drawn Bumblebee Man, he is saying the word yeesh.
Keeps seeing the kid as 11 from Stranger Things.
I kind of see that.
Dylan says that Bumblebee Man is saying, "Run, run, run as fast as you can. I'm the Bumblebee Man." Dylan is seeing Bumblebee Man as the owner of Courage the Cowardly Dog, the old woman. Oh yeah, because
that
she
big
had
jaw.
and her glasses, I think, did
Oh,
that
yeah.
reflective thing too. I've got one hand free. Tibbs is still on my lap. Just zonked.
Just had a hard day.
Yeah, I guess so.
The other thing I need to figure out with acrylic paint is setting up one of those stay wet palettes so that the paint doesn't dry so fast for me.
You used to have those.
Yeah, I still have one.
Oh, okay.
It's just kind of big, and setting it up
Yeah, it
is a little bit of a thing.
Pippi is asking, do you have any projects that haven't seen the light of day because of funding or other reasons that we can see someday?
Oh.
He's always interested to hear about or see people's, like, for example, 24-hour comic.
Our failures.
Yeah.
God, I probably do. I have a tendency to not give up. like I have a lot of projects that the plans have sort of fallen through, but I'm still like holding out hope.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so if I want to blend this, can I just take some matte medium and like...
Oh, that's an interesting thought.
Yeah, that does kind of work.
Oh.
If I get there soon enough.
Yeah, when it's still wet. Alpha, I am right there with you on not the 24-hour comic format not really working for me. It's too much pressure, and my life is far too busy to be doing that.
That's one of those that I would love to do one of these days, and I just have never had the time.
Yeah, you really do have to have the time. But my webcomic that I'm working on, I am making good progress.
Yeah, you're killing it on that thing. You're really making really good progress on it.
I'm halfway through the inks of a 28-page chapter and almost there for color. And I agree with Comic Trips too. Resilience. Keep on working at it. Thanks, Alpha. I will keep up the effort.
Yeah, the resilience is funny, because there's a part of it that is me being silly about stuff that isn't going to happen, but I'm still like, oh, I can't give up.
Ah.
But there's also I always feel like kind of the only way you actually fail at anything is by stopping working on it.
Yeah. Completely and never getting back to it.
Yeah.
Kevin and Comic Tropes, you can read my comic. Well, not right now. You can't read my comic at all just yet. But I plan once I finish this first chapter, then I'm going to start posting a page a week on my website, maatcrook.com. I just want to get the first chapter all done before I start posting it. It'll give me a little buffer time to start working on the next chapter. Comic Trope says he feels like his most successful friends are the ones who just don't take a no for the answer.
Yeah, there's I got mixed feelings about that approach, because sometimes the no is helpful. Sometimes when someone tells you no, it's an indicator that you need to reassess, reevaluate what you're doing.
But that's not really giving up.
That's not giving up, no, but it is sort of taking no for that particular answer. You know what I mean? Saying oh yeah, no to this, but yes to something else.
Yeah, he means they just don't stop. They might make changes, but they don't give up.
Yeah, no, it's always about reacting to the cards that you're dealt.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, Alpha Llama Llama. I will talk about it on BlueSky too, once it's ready. And it's called Demonstrative. It's about a kid that grows up on a pirate ship, being isolated and abused, and about how they survive and escape and still celebrate life and meet friends along the way.
And it's drawn very cute too.
Mm-hmm. there's magic and supernatural stuff and exploring. He says the lack of feedback and the no responses is what made him go back and reformat his book, and it's 1,000 times better now, 1,000% better now.
Good. You okay?
Yes, Tibbs gets fed by an automatic feeder, and she heard it go off and clawed my legs as she woke up and jumped off my lap. Yeah, comic tropes. Meet friends along the way instead of eat friends along the way. It can be helpful.
Yeah, no, that's one of the things about making comics is that it's just remarkable how many like really, really good friends I have made in the process of trying to make comics. It's because there's like something. There's something weird about the people who want to make comics that like sort of makes a lot of us friends. It's not universal. Like there's definitely people I have beef with, but mostly comic book people are amazing.
He does not try to beat people up, even if it feels like that would be satisfying in some way.
And I never like I never feel like I'm in competition with anybody.
No, this is a community. The comic industry is a community, and
I think
we want to all support each other.
I think the only people who I've ever met who really felt competitive against each other are the people who like the only thing they want to do is draw Spider-Man, and like there's only so many Spider-Man books that get made. So they may actually be competing against each other, but I don't know.
That doesn't sound enjoyable to me.
No, that doesn't sound fun.
Competitiveness.
Also, like, I would be absolutely miserable if, like, the only thing I wanted to do was something that could be given or taken away by a corporate entity like that.
Libby asks, have you ever thought about getting one of those rocket books as your planner?
A rocket book?
I don't know.
I don't know what that is.
I don't know either. Rocket book. I heard that. Should I go check and see?
Yeah, we check and see what that was.
It sounded like somebody was messing with our trash cans, y'all. Let me turn off my mic momentarily.
Have you ever thought of a game of rocket book map? I was sending out to publishers. As a reusable planner scheduler thing. I have not seen a rocket book. I'll have to look that up. I like doing my planning on paper, and I like being able to keep a record of it, of what I've done too. So that's basically my requirements for a planner.
Do you see that Dylan said that part of it is supposed to be electronic as well, the Rocket Book?
Oh, is that one of those where you like draw in the book and then it saves it digitally? Hey, Connor.
Connor's been here for a while.
Oh, Tibbs, that's a fantastic name. Brings Newfoundland to mind. Interesting. Is that like a Newfoundland name?
Because we don't really know where our neighbor came up with the name. Just knew that he thought that she was a boy and named her Tiberius, and then shortened it to Tibbers, and then shortened it also to Tibbs, and we kept the Tibbs part. Yeah, Dylan says, yeah, that's it exactly. Dylan's been carrying around a pocket notebook for the past 5-ish months and loves it.
Yeah,
Go ahead.
my favorite one right now is the Hobonichi Weeks. It's like a weekly planner. Well, here I can show you. It's this guy, and it fits in your pocket pretty good. It does like a weekly spread that looks like this. It has notes, like you can do notes on one side, and it has the days of the week on the other. And then in the back, it has a bunch of blank pages too, for doing just taking regular notes. And this is a very handy thing. Like I'm on my 4th or 5th one of these now, and I'm loving them. They celebrate Tibbs Eve on the night before Christmas Eve.
That's amazing.
Lots of songs and libations. You hear that, Tibbs? We're gonna get you fucked up for Christmas Eve.
We will not. She will have to do that of her own consent. This is very interesting. I'm gonna have to look this up.
The rocket one?
Tibbs Eve. It's even spelled the same as her name. And Wikipedia claims that the origin comes from Saint Tib, a character appearing in 17th century English plays. She is a loose-moraled woman that was used for comic relief.
Mm. Yeah, Tibbs's morals are kind of questionable sometimes.
Alpha Llama Llama, you're gonna get a T-shirt that says "Loose Moral Comic Relief."
Oh yeah, those field notes are pretty good. They're a little bit small for me, Dylan. I showed these on the stream before, but these are the sketch, like the books that I've been using for doing taking story notes and writing in. And I don't want to show any of my writing stuff, but it's just like a blank grid paper inside. And these are like the same price almost as those field notes, only they're like, I don't know how many pages, 60 or something. And they're almost the exact, like they're such a great size compared to my weeks, like they can go together. very satisfyingly.
Connor also says for Tibbs Eve, there's murmuring too, and where neighbors would dress up in masks and silly outfits and go visiting and drinking and singing.
Interesting.
Yeah. I also like that Wikipedia says that it's Tibbs Eve is a folk expression for a day which will never arrive. That sounds so cool.
Yeah, unless you need the day to arrive.
Looks like that kid has a gun stuffed in their sweatpants.
I can see that. He doesn't, though.
Okay.
He's a good kid.
Could be a good kid that has need of a gun because he's getting stalked by Bumblebee Head Man.
Yeah. I don't know if a gun would do anything.
Probably not. But they're a kid. They don't know that. These lines you're making are very fun.
Yeah, I agree. I'm having fun making them. I think that's the thing that I was remembering in my old sketchbooks was just like spending a lot more time just like this image started as like a terrible composition with nothing like no real plan or anything, and now I'm like doing this sort of thing to try to turn it into a just using some decorative patterns and stuff to try to turn it into a composition worth looking at. I don't know if we'll get there, but
it's like you got 4 quadrants there. You got
kind of like 1, 2, 3, 4.
Yeah. Dylan, that is a good point about the Rocket book, that because part of that is electronic. I do wonder if the company would have access to that information, like if it goes to a cloud or something that they have access to. He says tech companies sell people's notes to other companies. That those are my multi-billion-dollar ideas.
I do use the Apple Notes app a lot, which makes me a little nervous sometimes. Although, like, it's mostly just story ideas, so it has like marginal usefulness to Apple. But but it does make me feel nervous. I guess the thing is, like, I only use it to like. That's like my where I take notes when I'm on the move. So I try to get them into a notebook as soon as I can.
I keep my notes on my Apple Notes app.
feel like I've talked about this a bunch in interviews lately, but I do a lot of taking notes on my phone when I'm going for walks. And so I have my phone up to my ear, pretending like I'm talking to somebody on the phone, telling them my story as I dictate into my phone. Yeah, Seth, I need to get the terrible handwriting down.
So that no one else can read your notes. And
That
sometimes not even you.
I posted this on BlueSky the other day, but there's a song by Bill Callahan that I really love, called Idma Clackshaw, where he sings about having a dream where like all of life's mysteries are opened up to him and revealed, and so he wakes up and he writes it down, and then in the morning he reads his notes and they say Idma Clackshaw and a bunch of other sort of made up nonsense words.
Connor's favorite Sycamore song is Bill. Oh no, sorry, backwards. Favorite Bill Callahan song is Sycamore.
I'm not remembering that one off the top of my head. I'll have to look it up. He's great though.
Comic Tropes made a Twin Peaks joke of dictating to Diane.
It feels like that sometimes when I talk to my phone.
Oh, Alpha Llama Llama got to see him live.
Oh, nice.
That sounds fun. Twice, maybe even.
I've only ever seen him live on YouTube.
Connor loves Smog too. Have you heard of the band Smog?
Yeah, that's Bill Callahan's first band.
Ah.
Yeah, they're really good. I like I think the album was called Supper. That was a really good one.
Comic Tropes, Tyler and I do really like Twin Peaks.
Yeah. I think Twin Peaks is like the only. Well, I guess I love Star Trek a lot, but like Twin Peaks is the only other TV show I can think of that I'm like bonkers over.
I saw it as a kid with my mom. We would watch it together when it was on, when first coming on TV. And at one point, she was all, I don't know if we should watch this anymore because it's weird. None of this is making any sense. And I was all, what? You don't get it? Like, tried to explain it to her.
It's not supposed to make sense. It's supposed to be good.
Now, when the return of Twin Peaks came, I can't remember what was going on with me, but I was not in a good emotional space to watch it. I just couldn't do it. Was that when Trump first?
I think
first term?
I think it was 2018 when that came out, but
Oh,
I don't
okay.
think we didn't get a subscription to to watch it, so we watched it on Blu-ray, and I think that was like, I think that might have been a pandemic, like early pandemic thing.
Just my focus was Crocus, and I had too much anxiety, and I just couldn't do it. So once that's not the case for me anymore, then I would like to watch it.
Yeah, good luck.
Yeah. Probably won't be for 4 years.
I don't know what I'm doing with this kid. I wonder if I can do some Prismacolors over the top of them.
He looks very, or they look very moody. That's for sure.
I'm gonna hit that hairdryer for a second.
Okay.
I have not set up my electric pencil sharpener yet.
And you need a pencil sharpener?
I think I have one right here, but not an electric one.
And they might still be muted.
No, I'm muted.
You unmuted?
Yeah.
Good thing I didn't talk about anybody behind our back. No, I wouldn't. I got nothing but good stuff to say about y'all. It doesn't feel good to even joke about.
Nope.
Connor's jealous that people got to see
Bill Callahan.
Yeah, and other good bands.
Yeah, I spent most of the week listening to Silver Mount Zion. Speaking of Canadian bands, although I don't know if they play East Coast very often. I think they're a BC band.
Hi, Erwin. Welcome.
Hey, Erwin, thanks.
He did some acrylic with matte medium, and now is going over them with pencil.
Yeah, I guess they started with ballpoint pen.
True, yeah, which is completely covered
completely
now.
Obliterated by now. I wonder
if the ballpoint pen will go on top.
I will go on top.
Oh.
Is it even showing up a little bit?
Yeah, it shows up. Alpha Llama is collecting a list of bands to check out now. What was the one that you talked about? Silver what?
Silver Mount Zion. They are at least one of the guys from Godspeed You, Black Emperor. And I think the other members of the band sort of roll in and out of Silver Mount Zion.
That ballpoint pen looks like it's doing a better job than the pencils.
Yeah, it kind of is.
Yeah, we have done over an hour stream, an hour and a half so far.
Oh, for reals?
Yep.
I'm in the zone, guys.
Pippi always suggests The Kills and Midnight Boom. Or is it Midnight Boom Alpha? Are you talking to Alpha? Or is the whole band named Midnight Boom Alpha? Yeah, last week was an over an hour stream too.
I guess it's the time of year.
Mm-hmm.
You know, I bet it has like mostly that I'm just so happy to be back in the studio, and I'm like,
yeah,
overjoyed to just be sitting here noodling. It's been a real struggle actually to get like back into a regular work schedule.
Mm-hmm.
And every minute I sit here actually drawing just gets me closer to being back on my regular schedule.
Yeah. Okay. Thanks, Pippi. The name of the band is The Kills. Their album is called Midnight Boom. Dylan loves the red lions in the jacket.
Thank you.
Connor's favorites have always been Tom Waits, Jack White, and just recently St. Vincent.
I don't know if I've heard St. Vincent.
I'll
have to look them up. I just got Black Rider on vinyl today. Came in the post, which is very exciting.
You already started listening to it right away. Alpha Llama Llama suggests a local Brisbane band. Brisbane band? I feel like I'm totally saying that wrong. Brisbane? Anyway, the name of the band is Smallest Horses. They're on SoundCloud and or Bandcamp.
Smallest. I like the name.
I do too. Smallest Horse. It is coming together, isn't it, Pippi?
This piece?
Yeah.
Yeah, it's turning into something.
Something fun. Brisbane. Thanks, Alpha Llama Llama. I knew it sounded wrong.
Brisbane.
It reminds me of North Carolina accents, shortening, stuff like that. Instead of saying Bane, bin. Except for there's some things like Hill is pronounced heel. So then some words become longer. So never mind. Take what I said with a pinch of salt. Keith saw TV on the radio a couple weeks ago.
Oh, no way. That's a band I would love to see.
Yeah. He's going to go see Said the Whale in Vancouver next year. Dylan has a indie band that he recommends called the Dead Deads. That's a great name.
That is a good name.
Connor also says there's a band named Wolf Like Me. That's another great name.
That is a TV on the radio song.
Oh, the song is. Okay. Or it's the name of the song. It's a good song name.
I feel like it needs some sort of graphical thing and like patterny thing in the background here
Okay.
of the kid.
Because Bumblebee Head Man has the cloud. The kid needs something like that.
Maybe. I don't know. I'm gonna put.
We'll see. An ice cream van. Connor likes it. It says this looks so good. Oh, I see that, Emma. Emma says the bit of blue light, the light blue bit coming out of the boy's head looks like the B-Man zooming out of his head.
Oh, like this little bit right here.
Oh my gosh, this backstory is intriguing. This would be such a cool album cover, says Seth. I thought you were going to write yeesh.
I did write yeesh.
Yeah. Dylan sounds like he's rolling the inspiration dice.
A walrus fairy princess next theme. Okay. Probably not, but okay.
It's an idea. Pippi, he looks so frustrated with B-Man. Yep. Alpha, I wonder if the putting the A in there is a more American spelling of yeesh.
Oh yeah. I don't never actually looked it up to see if there was a
Standardized
spelling, yeah.
I think that even like not knowing you, I think that I've only ever seen it spelled Yeash. No. When I typed it in YEA, the very first
Is YEE.
Yeah.
That actually makes more sense instead of yesh. But you know, Bumblebee Man is like Scottish, so he's speaking with a Scottish accent.
I am seeing some YEASH, but it's not the first thing that comes up. Maybe YEE is a more common spelling.
It's one of those words like G's.
Mm-hmm. G's, I see 2 E's. But American English is so messed up. There's exceptions to every rule.
No.
It's like the word yeet.
I was a little bit worried that this paper wasn't going to like the acrylic paint very much, but it's doing really well.
Oh, good.
Keith is right.
Yeah.
I used to feel so embarrassed about like how bad my spelling was, and then I don't know, in my early 40s, I started to figure out just how reasonable it is to not be able to spell anything in English.
It is, the camera is having a real hard time with every time the page, you push down the page with your hand.
Does it go out of
focus? It goes out of
focus?
focus, yeah.
I tried to lock it down, but I can't do it without like disconnecting the camera.
Oh. So we just need to remember next time to do that first thing. Oh, Pippi's asking any splatter?
Maybe.
Maybe that's what it's missing. Connor, I have seen G spelled with a J or a G. Yep, you're right. Yeah. Pippi, usually Tugboat's the one to ask about the splatter. But Pippi asked in Tugboat's absence.
Just looking out for Tugboat.
What? Dylan, you have blown my mind. He says, I can see J or G for G's being spelt like that, but it's based on Jesus, so J makes more sense.
Yeah.
Jeez. I never put that together, but I think
you're really?
Right. Yeah.
That's like, oh my lands.
Yeah, it's oh my Lord.
Oh my Lord.
And gosh is God. Mm-hmm.
It's silly because God can see into your heart and he knows what you meant to say anyway.
Connor, I've always spelled it with a G. Jesus with a G. that makes it more fun to say for some reason for me.
I always found it very satisfying on Adventure Time when they would say, oh my glob.
Oh my glob. That's from Futurama, isn't it?
No, that's an Adventure Time thing.
Oh, Adventure Time. Oh, that's right. That's right. You probably said that and it dropped out of my brain.
Although it does sort of, something about it sounds like something Bender would say.
Yeah. No, or it sounds like something, oh geez, what's the human guy's name?
Fry?
Fry, thank you. Sounds more like something Fry would say to me.
Maybe.
No, it does sound more future-y.
I can just hear it in Bender's voice. Oh my glob, which I cannot do.
That's the crossed wire. Bender voices Jake.
These circles are like really working for me, man.
Your color choices are really working for me.
Basically just using a primary colors, but instead of like a true yellow, I'm using a yellow ochre. Instead of a true red, I'm using what's it called here?
Pink.
Terra Rosa. And then instead of like a true blue, I guess even the Prussian blue is a little more gray than like a true blue. So it makes everything just a little bit muddy, I think.
Good night, Kevin. Have a wonderful weekend and a lovely week.
Yeah, have a good one, man. Thanks for hanging out.
And if you celebrate any holidays, enjoy those too.
Oh yeah, there's gonna be Christmases between now and the next stream, huh?
Mm-hmm. But we'll see you next stream. Kevin says, you guys too. See ya. I like that the bubbles from quadrant 3 are going into quadrant 4. Oh, and that one
They're
that's
like,
right in front.
Oh my gosh, they're like Voyager.
Going into
the Delta quadrant.
Connor says, every choice here is making this painting absolutely beautiful.
Oh, thank you.
And Dylan says if this was a cover of a comic book, he would buy it.
This would be a tough one for me to do as a cover for a comic because I don't know how to plan an image like this.
Maybe that would make a cover fun.
Yeah. It's one of those things, if I was going to do a cover like this, I would need to schedule enough time that I could completely blow it and start over from scratch a couple times. Few things more satisfying than drawing a really nice circle. That is pretty true.
My grandfather was an artist, and first time I ever spent much time with him, he challenged me and my brothers to draw a circle from hand, and he said that that whoever did the most perfect circle, then they were going to be a good artist. And my heart was just broken because my circle was not very circular. And now I know that's nonsense, and I would never tell anybody else that.
Except as a story.
As a story. Yeah, I would never expect anyone else to do that challenge. Emma's asking, what acrylics are these? Because those are some nice opaque oranges.
These are golden. Well, no, actually, I have a cross between golden and M. Graham and Company. So I'm using some of these, and I'm using some of these. And I think I was buying gold or the M. Graham and Company for a little while, but then I was at the art store and I started to like golden just because their product sheets were so like complete. Like there's so much when you need to know like what pigments they use and what the binder is and like all that sort of information. Like golden is just really good at providing that. Yeah, it has a little bit of a carnival feel. It's like the polka dots and the stripes and stuff. Like that's carny language.
Is it?
Yes.
That's how you.
It's their
that's
visual.
how they know you're not a rube, honey.
They say, "Let me see your polka dots."
Keith had a teacher in college offer an A for the class to anyone that could draw a perfect circle on the board. Keith he doesn't think that anybody even attempted it.
Have you seen those competitions?
There's competitions?
Yeah, there's a freehand perfect circle competitions where the people who win them usually like that. They pivot, like they do it on a chalkboard or something.
Yeah.
And they stand with their shoulder against the board and then do like this, which makes a lot of sense because they're just using the pivot of their
own arm,
their shoulder.
Mm-hmm. Oh, Emma says this just needs a Tom Waits soundtrack to go with it.
Trying to get me demonetized?
Oh my gosh. Now she pictures B-Man talking like Tom Waits. I can see that. I agree. B-Man has Tom Waits' voice.
What's he building in there?
Yeesh.
Yeesh.
Alright, I've got to look up Tabletop Joe. Because according to Connor, B-Man's got major Tabletop Joe energy in this picture.
Oh,
Tabletop Joe. It's a song by Tom Waits. About a guy with no body.
Oh, wait. Does he have more than one song? Because he also has the Eyeball Kid.
Oh, yeah.
Okay, I'm going to try to do...
Splatter?
No, I'm going to try to do a glaze with this matte medium. I'm going to... just put down some straight matte medium. And then I'm going to come in with a little bit of this, a little bit of like pink, a little more red, a little more red. Okay, back to this bit. Okay. I don't think I was fast enough. This matte medium started to dry already.
Already, yeah. Pippi says it's almost like those circles are a bokeh effect.
Yeah. Bokeh effect is the effect you get with the camera lens.
Where some things are out of focus.
Yeah, when things get out of focus and the light points turn into big circles.
Oh, yeah. It does do that. Dylan loves that blue.
Alright. I think I'm gonna call this quits.
You're not gonna do splatter?
No, I don't think it wants to be splattered on.
Alright.
But we do get to pull tape.
Alright, I'll be quiet this time, y'all.
I don't think this will be sonically as good. I don't think. Although I am going to hit this with the hairdryer real quick before I pull up.
You slowly painted on those splatters.
Yeah, it was all more delicately crafted splatters this time. All right, let's see how this goes. That pulled up really, really nice, actually. So sharp. Yeah.
I composed myself so well. You said so sharp, and Alpha Llama Llama said looks sharp at exactly the same time.
Nice.
And I almost guffawed about it.
Did Bob Ross? Oh, he would do like masks and stuff, wouldn't he, Connor?
Hey, Dow.
Thanks, Dow. Look at that. I don't know. The pen, it leaves a little something to be desired, I think. I think overall the painted stuff, the acrylic stuff, and the pencil marks are a little more pleasing.
Because the texture that the pencils leave.
Yeah, like the pens are just a little bit too like sharp or something. I don't know. Everything else has a like kind of a feeling of softness to it.
Well, I don't regret you doing it. I think it was a very pleasant watch.
Nice.
Dylan wants a print of it.
Probably not. But yeah, that was fun. That turned out sort of a lot different than what I was expecting when I got started, which is always really fun.
Yep.
I think it's very, as far as like a sketchbook page goes, I think it's very successful.
Yeah.
As far as like, if this was going to be a print that I sold or something, I would be less, I would consider it less successful.
Less excited about it?
Yeah. I'd want to go in and fine tune like the yeesh and render this kid out a little bit better, a little more thoughtfully.
Hi, Art Apprentice.
Hey, Art Apprentice, thanks.
And Dow,
Yeah.
you are never obligated to chat in the chat. And do it when you want to do it. You can just watch anytime you want.
Ooh,
That
look at that.
boy Bobby ain't right.
All right, well, I think that'll do it for this Friday night. I hope everybody has cooled down.
Yeah.
Thanks, Alpha Llama. Yeah, I have the same feeling. Like, I think the parts of this that are working really well.
And thanks, Pippi. Don't forget to like the stream if you like it.
All right. And don't forget to tell all the people you love how much you love them. And I love all you guys. Really appreciate you hanging out tonight. And I'll see you next week. Take care,
Have
everybody.
a great weekend, everyone. Bye.